everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. So today I want to show you how to cut and sew a wrapper skirt. So it's skirt and wrapper, okay? So I have my fabric here. This is the lining piece and this is the main fabric. So I'll go ahead to graft on my lining piece before cutting on my fabric, okay? So let's get started. And if you're new to this channel, please do well to hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell beside it so that whenever I upload a new video, you'll be among those that will be notified. And to all my coming back subscribers, all my subscribers, I say God bless you all. You are very much welcome. So let's get started. So now I'll cut on the lining piece. So I'll fold based on the biggest measurements. So the biggest circumference here is the hip. Divide by 4. So the hip is 41. Divide by 4. That is 10.25. Then I'll add 1.5 for seam allowance. So I've placed my fabric on fold using the biggest circumference. I've placed my fabric on fold using the biggest circumference, which is the hip divided by 4. Then I added 2 inches for seam allowance. So from the 2 inches, I'll take for turning in the lining. So the next thing to do now is to mark the top of my fabric so that I'll have an even edge. So from here now, I would take the length of the skirt. So I'll place the full length of the skirt. The full length is 42 inches plus 1 inch for hem allowance. So that is 43. That is where I would leave it. So after marking the full length of your skirt, you take from your waist to the hip points. So in this case, it is 9 inches. So from waist to hip, 9 inches. So I would mark it. Now I'll take the waist circumference, divide by 4. So the waist circumference divided by 4 is 8.75. So this is 8.75. And I'll be adding that to this skirt. So I'll add 1 inch for that. Then 2 inches for seam allowance. Then at the hip, I'll place the hip circumference divided by 4, which is 10.25. This is the hip circumference plus 2 inches for seam allowance. Now I would connect. Then I'll connect it all the way down. But at the lowest part, I would minus 1 inch from what I have at the hip circumference or at the hip measurement. So I have 12.5 here. So minus 1 inch, that would be 11.5. So that is what I would mark at the lower side. Then I'll connect it. So this is it. Now I'll place my dart. So to place the dart, I'll take the bust span. That is the measurement between one nipple to the other divided by 2. So in this case, it is 4 inches plus half inch, because by the time you sew the dart, you'll be using one half inch. So this is where I'm placing the dart, 4.5. So now I would mark half inch on both sides, half inch on this side, and ½ inch on this other side. Okay, then the length of the dart would be 6 inches. So I'll come down by 6 inches and connect. Now I'll connect my darts. So this is it. Now you come at this side of your front panel, you come down by ½ inch, just to give it that curvy effect at the waist. Okay, so just come down by ½ inch, you connect it to the edge here and you cut it out. So you just slant it. Okay, so this is it for our front panel. Now I'll go ahead and cut it out. So this is the front panel of our skirt. So I'll just notch my dart points. Then I'll fold my fabric again and use this to cut for the back. So I've placed my fabric on fold to cut the back, and I left 1.5 inch allowance for zipper. Okay, then I placed the front, and for the back, the waistline would not have the effect that I created for the front. No, at the front it came down by ½ inch just to have that curvy effect at the waistline, but the back would be straight. Okay, so apart from that, every other thing remains the same. So I'll go ahead now and cut out the back. So how a straight skirt pattern here. So I'll use this to cut on the main fabric, then we'll also cut the wrapper side. So I've cut the main fabric, and this is the lining. So I reduced 1 inch from the lining. Okay, so after using the lining to cut the main fabric, I minus 1 inch from the lining. So this will help by the time I hem it at the lower part, it will have nice finishing under there. Same with the back. Okay, so I did same thing at the back. I also reduced 1 inch from the lining piece, and I've opened up the back for our zipper. So now we'll move over to the wrapper aspect. Okay, we'll now cut the wrapper for the skirts. So now we'll cut the wrapper. So this is the fabric I'm using for the wrapper. So you have to face it up. That is the good side of the fabric, facing up. Okay, because you tie the wrapper from the right side going towards the left, so it has to face up. Then you also get the front panel. You have to open up the front panel as well. Okay, so there are different ways you can actually achieve this. You can use the front panel to cut it, but the effect we have at this lower part, this pencil effect, will not be on the wrapper. Okay, and one other thing, the hip curve area would only be on one side. That is the side where you'll be joining the wrapper to the skirt. Then the other side will just be straight, or whatever design you want to have there. You can make it curvy, you can make it straight. Okay, so I want it straight. So at this side, I'll cut exactly what I have here, while at the other side, I will make it straight. So I just want to pin it down so that it doesn't move. Then the top part as well, that is this top part. Remember, the front has this curvy effect of the skirt, if you can see it. So but the wrapper will just be straight. Okay, so these are just the things you would need to take note of. I've cut the lining for the wrapper. So this is the main fabric and this is the lining. So this is the hip side, that is the side that has the hip curve. So this side will be open for now. Okay, so I'll stitch the top, I'll stitch the side, and I'll stitch this lower part, leaving this side open to turn it. So by the time I turn it, I'll then top stitch on it. Okay, so this is the side that will be stitched inside the skirt. So I'll go ahead and sew the lining to it. Okay, so I've sewn the wrapper, the top, the side, and the lower part, leaving this side open. This is the part that will be stitched to the skirt. So I'll turn it now and give it a good press. Then I'll join it to the skirt. So I'll show you how to do that. See what we have here. This is the lining part and this is the main fabric. So I'll just give it a good press. So now it's time to assemble the skirt. I have sewn the lining to it and also sew the dart. So you can either sew your dart together with the main fabric and the lining, or you can sew it separately. You can either sew it like sew the dart on the lining and sew the dart on the main fabric, then you go ahead and join them. But it's a quick one. I decided to sew it together like this. Okay, then I ironed it. So this is the back. So it will be having slit at the back, and the slit will be 19 inches from the lower parts. Okay, from this part the slit will be 19 inches. So this is where the slit will start from. Okay, so this is the length. So this is the length of the slit. Okay, and I'll stitch up to where I would also fix my zipper. Okay, so after fixing the zipper, I'll then join the back to the front. Okay, so let me go ahead and do just that. So I've sewed the zipper, as you can see. Okay, so I measured 8 inches and I fixed my zipper. So I left ½ inch at the top here for hemming, because I'll be hemming the top all around after joining it. And this is the slit. Okay, so there are different ways of making your slit or stitching your slit, but this is the method I decided to use. Okay, so I just stitched it and stitched it this way so that I won't have to fold this side again. So I just like it like this. So if you want to fold it, then the same zipper allowance you use, you stitch all the way to this point, then you would fold it. Fold it, you would use hemming gum to let it stay down like this. Okay, so I don't want to do that. That is why I just stitched it this way. So it's just like this. So now we'll join the back to the front. So one more thing, on the wrapper you fix your belt. So I actually forgot to do that initially, so I had to open this place from the other side and I fixed my belt. Okay, and I then stitched this side closed so that it will be easy for me to join it. So this is actually what I did to the belt. Remember, I made it bold, then I had to reduce it at this point so that it will be easy to join to the skirt. Then by the time I tie it at the back, it will be this bold. Okay, so this is what I did. So here it is. Let me just make it. So let me just show you what I did. I measured 2 inches, then I stitched it this way. Okay, so that this side will be slim to join to the skirt. So I'll go ahead to cut it out. So that is exactly what I did at this side, and I joined it to the wrapper. Okay, so this is the belt. This one will be joined to the wrapper. So here it is. This is wrapper. So this side will be joined to where you tie it at the back. Okay, then this other one will be joined to the skirt. So I'll show you where to join this other one. So I'll just cut it, then turn it to the other side. Guys, turn it to the right side. So you can see what I have here. So you can see what I have. Okay, so I'll open it, I'll turn it from this side because I left this side open. So using my scissors, I'll just turn it. So I'll give it a notch here so that when I turn it to be easy for it to come out properly. So here it is. Okay, so I would iron it out later, but for now let's just continue the tutorials. So this is it. So with this now, it will be easy to join it because I don't want it this bold at the skirt part. So that's why I reduced it, leaving just 2 inches. So the next thing to do now is to place our back panel. We'll place the front on it. So to know where the belt will really stay, so I'll just place it the way the skirt will be. So this is how the skirt will be, the front and the back. So this rope would come from this side. Okay, so this is how I stitched it to the other side, the seam area facing down. So it will come from this side. Okay, so I hope you're seeing this. The rope will come from this side, while the one for the wrapper will be on it like so. So the wrapper will be on the skirt like so. Okay, and it will be tied at the back here. So I want it very bold that when I tie it, it will form a big bow at the back. Okay, so by the time I'm done, I would iron it and set it well. Okay, so that is actually what I want at the back, and this will cover up the zipper as well, or the zipper head. Okay, so let me go ahead and stitch it to be clearer. To stitch the rope to it, you know, it will be in between. So what I'll do now is to join it to the back panel, leaving ½ inch at the top here, because I'll be hemming the top by ½ inch. Okay, so I'll just leave ½ inch and I would stitch the rope to the back panel like so, facing, see the way I'm placing it. Okay, so it's on the right side of the back panel, so that by the time I stitch, by the time I join the front like so, by the time I stitch, it will be like this at the back. Okay, I hope you are seeing this. It will be at the back, it will be like this at the back. Okay, so this is it for the rope. Then for the wrapper I would place it to the front. I'll place it to the front like so. Okay, so I'll just place it to the front like so. I'll leave about ½ inch at the top. I'll leave ½ inch at the top for the hemming. Then I'll place it. Then it would not be at the same edge, okay, because we want the edge to be neat inside. So I'll also move in by ½ inch. Okay, so that by the time I stitch my seam allowance, it will be in between the seam allowance. Okay, so I'll just pin it down there and go ahead and stitch. Okay, ½ inch from the top and ½ inch from the side. So I'll just join it to the front. Then we'll now join the front and the back. Okay, so let me do just that. Sewn the belt to the back panel. Okay, as you can see here. So this is it. Okay, so and the front as well, I've sewn the wrapper to it. So this is it. Okay, so this is the wrapper. You can see it here now. So what I'll do now is join the back and the front. Okay, I'll join the back and the front by turning it good side facing each other. like so. Okay, then you put the rope inside. So this rope now, you take it inside, then you bring the front panel and you would join it. Okay, you join it. So you just take your measurement and you stitch. Then on this other side as well, you make sure you push the wrapper inside. So the wrapper should go inside, then that is the wrapper and the belt. Then you stitch this other side. Okay, so that is it. So by the time you now turn it out, the wrapper will be in front. So this is just how you place it. Okay, so you mark your measurements and you stitch. So after doing that, I'll also go ahead and hem the top. Okay, just little hemming all round. So that will be it. Okay, so let me do just that and you see the final look of the skirt. So my skirt is ready. As you can see, I've hemmed the top and this is the wrapper. Okay, so this is the wrapper with the belts. Okay, so at the back now, you would tie it. You can see the other belt coming from this side and this other one from this side. So I would then tie it at the back and make a beautiful bow with it. So for the belt, sorry I lost the clip on where I cut the belt. So you can make your belt as long as you want and how bold you want it to be at the back. So I took 22 inches for the length, and for the boldness, that is for the width, I used 4 inches on fold. So this will be nice when I put it on. But this is not all. I'll go ahead to embellish this, okay? So I would embellish the wrapper. Embellish the wrapper like I did for the blouse. So if you have not watched how I made the blouse, I will leave the link in the description box so that you can check it out. Okay, so this is it. I'll just go ahead to embellish it and you see the final look of this skirt.
And here it is. I hope you like this video. Please give it a like and share with your friends, okay? And if you are yet to subscribe, please hit that subscribe button. It is free, just for you to be part of this wonderful family. And also turn on the bell beside it so that whenever I upload a new video, you'll be among those that will be notified. So thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget, share this video with your friends and also give it a like. It will encourage me to do more. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Remain blessed.